Listen, you know who's schmancy?
Tony. Tony Awards.
Our next guests. Okay, Tony Awards. I can't believe they're just 10 days away.
I know.
If you haven't gotten your tickets to see Purpose, you better get to it. It is a story about an influential family who's been the pillar of Black American politics. But like all families, there are cracks and secrets just under the surface.
Are you the publicist right there?
Yeah.
She is staring at us, making sure every word is correct about the description.
We're not going to get free tickets.
Purpose has already won the 2025 Pulitzer Prize. Is this good, right?
Yes.
We got this right? The 2025 New York Drama Critics Award, and it's nominated for 6 Tony Awards, including Best Play. She's nodding. We're very excited about this. Take a look.
I was interested in telling a story about a Black family that had dynastic ambitions.
Playing with Brandon Jacob Jenkins' words is an actor's gift, a highlight of my career.
One of the greatest honors. Felicia Rashad, she is a legend of the theater. I really feel like I'm in a dream.
Being in the play feels amazing.
Purpose has its beginnings at the Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago, one of the most prestigious regional theaters in our country.
Really is such a joy to be able to express thoughts like these.
All we're trying to do is make sure that everyone comes and see us because we're to be seen. We eat.
They ate. Please welcome the stars of Purpose, Tony Award nominees Jon Michael Hill and Glenn Davis.
Bring the energy.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you again.
Yes,
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. You two clean up nice.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Please, well, these are your waters
Thank you.
for you.
yes.
How's everybody feeling?
Feeling great.
How long have you guys been friends for?
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
2009 years.
So 16.
That's a lot of
I
years.
met John. I met John really quickly. He was doing a play. The last time he was Tony nominated for a play called Superior Donuts, and a friend hooked us up, and I came to see the show. I go up to it. He was amazing in it. I go up to his dressing room afterwards, and his dressing was like the party dressing room. It's where everyone went to.
Right.
And so I go up to his dressing room, and I didn't know him at all. And he invited me in. He was like, Glenn.
Oh, that's
and I was
awesome.
like, whoa, this guy is like, I just knew instantly he's going to be one of my best friends forever.
Yeah.
So we've been hanging ever since.
The rest is history.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
rest is, what kind of partying was happening in that dressing room?
Yeah, tell us.
So, me and Michael McKean had the bigger dressing rooms of the cast of 9, so he didn't really drink, so I kept the bar in my room. So
Right.
everybody who came to see the show that wanted to say hi to the cast, everybody would just congregate in my room.
That's
and
so
we keep
fun.
it festive.
Imagine you got to come down, serious come down after you're doing a show like you guys are up there.
For my character, who's on stage for most of this play, I feel like I've been through, like, hit by a bus sometimes after a 2-show day. But the adrenaline is pumping and everybody comes off. It's a very familial thing with us in this cast. Everybody really loves each other.
For folks who have not yet seen it, give us a quick synopsis.
I would say it's about a political family struggling with its legacy. A nuclear family like many of ours that has hidden things that they've not talked about over what feels like a 50-year period for them. And the sort of head of the family, Solomon, is thinking about his own legacy and his 2 sons, played by myself and John, and what that means, what are sort of the far-reaching implications beyond what he'll be able to see, what he'll be able to witness, because he sort of talks about how he's at the end of his journey. And so, yeah, there are certain things that come up. There's a dinner, there's a family dinner, like we've all been to, and I'm sure in all of our families, where everyone sort of congregates and comes home, and things are revealed, and you have to deal with some real fireworks, I would say, in our play.
And there's drama, there's also comedy too.
Yeah.
That's it's not strict,
Yeah.
Brandon Jacobs Jenkins is one of the funniest people I've been around, and that doesn't always translate to putting it down on the page.
I was gonna say, he is.
But he's managed to do it, and I think people come. It's won the Pulitzer for drama, but he opens people up with humor in a way that's just like a master. He uses it in a way, and a lot of times the humor is right up against the drama, which is a very difficult thing to pull off, but he does it.
But that's where the magic happens.
That's one of the best things about his work, is that you see it other plays of his, and obviously he's been a finalist for the Pulitzer twice, but I think in this play what he really does that's a hallmark of his work is, like Jon talked about, the juxtaposition of having something hugely funny right up next against something that's hugely dramatic, and many times you're laughing and then you feel guilty because 2 seconds later you're like, I shouldn't be laughing.
You know what they call that, by the way? Family.
Exactly.
That's it. I mean, it's like it's the metaphor for family. It's like, why am I laughing?
Exactly.
It's just pain and struggle.
We saw that clip. We showed a clip at the beginning. I mean, the pantheon of talent.
Come on.
Can we talk about Felicia Rashad and what that was like? And hi.
You probably had first contact with her, asking her to direct.
Yeah, so I'm the artistic director at a theater.
Little theater, Steppenwolf. Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
In Chicago.
Just clarify, just real quick, with Steppenwolf, what it means to the theater world, basically. It's massive.
Steppenwolf, I got my start there. Jon got his start there. Jon is the youngest member ever to join the company.
I was a baby, and they let me in.
Yeah.
That's why I think of parties.
That's right.
But yeah, we've been a part of this company that's sort of in the pantheon of American theaters, is sort of right at the top, I would say. And so I became artistic director in 2021, and this play, we had commissioned Brandon to write it years earlier. And so myself and my co-artistic director, Audrey Francis, we sat down and looked at all the plays and said, this is the one we need to program. We have to do this. We only had 30 pages at the time. And so if you know anything about theater, you don't program a play if you don't know what it is. Right? And so a lot of money invested in these little plays. And so so basically, I called up Brandon and I said, hey, man, I want to program this play. He was like, great. I said, next season. He said, what? I said, can you finish it? He said, I think I can. Who's going to direct it? I said, I have an idea, Felicia Rashad. So I called up Miss Felicia Rashad, and I said, we had met like twice before, and I said, hey, this is Glenn Steppenwolf. Would love for you to direct this play. And she said, let me read it. I said, just to let you know, we got 30 pages.
It's a short.
She was like, okay, let's see what we got. We had another conversation after she read it. It was a short read. After another conversation, she said, I like this play. What do you think is the outcome? What do you think is going to happen? I said, I don't know, but I think this might be the next great American play.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm in.
I love it.
And so from that moment forward, once Brandon, and I remember calling Brandon and said, Felicia says she's doing it. He said, what? And so I think then he was like, I got to write this play.
Yeah.
And he ended up writing one of the best plays of the last 25, 50 years. I think it is, obviously, as you said, it won the Pulitzer Prize. He's on a run that I've never seen before. So I feel lucky. Jon and I, we talk about this all the time. There's nothing better than success other than having success with your friends.
Oh my gosh.
And as you said, these actors who are on stage, not only are they the best acting company I've ever been a part of, but they're also now my closest friends.
Your closest
and so
friends.
it's the best.
And you guys are nominated together for the Tonys. That sucks.
Yeah.
I remember
What a drag.
Yeah.
I love when they say, like, you're not ready to Tony. How do you feel? Terrible.
Terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Yeah.
We were waiting to come on one night, and it just sort of hit us standing backstage because we enter at the top of the plate together, and it's like, wow, we're really here, nominated, about to step on stage, and that was a feeling we'll probably remember forever.
And there's so many full circle moments for us, both of us having got our start at Steppenwolf, me now leading the company. When I first met him, he was doing a Steppenwolf show at the time on Broadway. He was nominated for a Tony at the time. We're both nominated now. There's so much symmetry in terms of how things have aligned. We're doing it with, we also have to say, Alana Arenas, who's also in our company, plays my wife, Morgan. She is incredible. She's a company member from Steppenwolf. So the three of us coming here together and then joining Harry Lennox and LaTanya Richardson Jackson and Kara Young, all three incredible artists. It just feels like a dream.
Love it. Well, it's not. It's reality. It's happening.
It is. It's actually really happening. 10 days away.
Yep.
We'll ask you in the commercial what you're going to wear, because I know.
Okay.
I know it's going to look nice.
Chaps.
Thank you. Thank you both. Congratulations to both.
Thank you
of you.
very much.
And it's so well earned. Really, really,
Thank
truly.
you.